Honorable Presiding Member. Sir, when we speak in this House and when we take positions with regards to various laws or various policy positions that the government brings, we try and not be confrontational. We try our best not to oppose. We criticize, obviously, that is one of the most important tasks that the opposition has to do. And we try our level best to be constructive. And in that respect, the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister of Education knows that when there were very vindictive campaigns against her regarding a highly debated policy document that she, as minister, authored, we stood very firmly against those moves. Because whilst we might disagree with certain things, there is a way about going about disagreements. So what I'm trying to say here is that whilst we have stood against the government, criticized the government at times, we have not tried to derail the government's efforts. We have tried our level best to try and criticize it in the hope that our criticism is taken seriously and that the government, if not at that very instance, but at least in the future, will take note of the matters that we have raised and will ensure that those are addressed at some point. Now, in that respect, I wish to raise to the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of Education. She herself, I think, signed a statement where she stood against when the previous government chose to prevent law practitioners from being lecturers in universities. She herself opposed that. She is now the minister. I suggest that the Honorable Prime Minister acts very swiftly in correcting that utterly ridiculous decision. A very respected young Dr. Kumaravel Gurubaran was, as a result, severely affected by that. And I think she knows him personally as well. So I'm just saying that these are things that the Honorable Prime Minister can certainly look into. The ways and means in which the Vice Chancellors are appointed, the marking schemes, is, I think, quite ridiculous. There must be openness, there must be fairness. Unfortunately, that is not the case. The way in which external members of the councils to universities are appointed, again, I believe are not open. There is a lot of secrecy, and I think these are serious changes that must happen because it involves the culture that we are trying to change and that the government says it is committed to change. So the point I'm making is that when we make these comments, we make it in the best interest of what the government says its objectives are, and hoping that the government takes on board certain things. Now, in that respect, Honorable Presiding Member, I wish to raise something that I think no Tamil Member of Parliament who represents the Northeast, including the government members, if they have the freedom to actually speak their minds, can agree and can condone. And that is this Kiboya project that the cabinet has approved. It was something that was started by the Rajapaksas, and the Prime Minister knows what the Rajapaksas are. The Tamils have looked upon them as probably the most vehement racist ideologies that Sri Lanka has ever seen against the Tamil people. And in 2013, soon after the war, this Kiboya project was orchestrated where there were supposed to be settlements. Nearly 6,000 Sinhala families were going to be settled in under this scheme. Already some 3,000 or nearly 4,000 families had already been settled in areas where in 1984, due to systematic military operations in those areas, people from Mullaitivu East and Vavuniya North, Tamil people who had lived there for centuries, were systematically driven away. They were displaced. And before they could return, there were Sinhala colonization projects that took place. Now, this has been a long-standing vexed issue that we have been raising from time to time. That due to the war circumstances when people get displaced, at the end of the war, when we tried to come back, we couldn't come back. In those places instead, either the forest department had declared them all to be forest, or people were already occupying, people who did not belong to that district. Now, this has been a huge problem. And this Kiboya project is a key problem with regards to that in the northern province. And we had been severely opposing this, not only us, including members from the other Tamil parties representing the Northeast have been severely opposing. Now, if you look at that project, this is the official position of that project. The entirety of the settlements that are going to take place is Sinhalese. And that is one of the complaints that has come out from the environmental department, has come out with a feasibility project analysis where they have pointed that out, saying that this is actually in violation of the constitution to carry out settlements like this. But that is the intention of the project. Now, that sort of project coming under the Rajapaksas is something that we can understand. Not that we agree with it, we opposed it, we can understand. But this is coming under your government. You call the Rajapaksas racist. You call the Rajapaksas racist, but you are doing it. And in addition to that, the Rajapaksas allocated 7 billion rupees to carry out this project. You have increased that by a further 2 billion. By a further 2 billion. Now, how on earth can you expect us to accept this? Isn't this utter racism? What is the message you're sending us? When we raise this, we are being targeted. The president goes to Jaffna and says that when we protest against the Tayyati Vihare that was built on private land, I challenge the president. It was built on private land. When the Tayyati Tisavihare land is already there, nothing was done there. They took private land. When we are protesting that private land has been confiscated illegally, the president goes and calls that racist. What is the message you're telling us? It frustrates us. When we are trying to be constructive, when we try to support you, when you need support, when we think that you are unfairly being targeted, when we try and support you. But soon after that, when we raise serious matters that concern us, that has exacerbated conflict in this country, for the president to go and call us racist because we support those people, those families who are protesting, and then you go and do something like what you're doing here in this Kiboya scheme, you're no different. You're no different. So I ask the Prime Minister that if this government is different from the others, then there must be a systemic change in the way the government treats the people of the Northeast. You can't do the same thing that the previous governments did for year in, year out. Do the same thing and then say that they are racist and you're not racist. So I ask this government, I ask the Prime Minister that she must intervene in this. She must intervene in this, because if this project goes through, I can assure you that this last chance that the Tamil people were hoping from your government also will be dashed. Thank you.